Good evening and welcome to Speaker Club's last meeting of the month, last meeting of the year. And like it's been a ritual for the last 4 years, I believe, we have had 4 meetings until now with the theme of reflections happening on the last meeting of the Speaker Club every year. And this year, we wish to continue the ritual that has been building up. And it's a moment, it's a meeting that we look forward to dearly because it's not just any random conversation that we have. We talk about our experience of the year, the lessons that we have learned, the reflections that we have gained, and the moments that we are going to create in this meeting as well. So that's a theme for this meeting, and I'm looking forward to listening to each one of y'all's stories and experiences through this meeting. Each one of y'all will be getting a chance to speak for about 3 minutes, just to keep the paucity of time, and all of us getting a chance to share our experiences. Please note, we will be having a timer and you'll be getting 3 minutes. We are not hard and fast. You need not speak for 3 minutes. If it's shorter, it's okay. But if it goes beyond 30 seconds of the 3 minute time, we will be curtailing it so that everyone gets a good opportunity. So, having said that, let's get going with today's meeting of Reflections 2024. I've always said, thank God it's Friday. Not for the reason that you will be smiling, but for the reason that it's been one day of a week for the last entire 52 weeks in this year, where we have had the meetings of the Speak Up Club inner circle and the last meetings of every month with the Speak Up Club family that we have built over the past 4.5 years now. This is a day, this is a time that I always look forward to because this is something that gives me a challenge, that gives me a moment to look up to every week because something special keeps happening on every Friday with the members who keep sharing stories, with the family across the globe who keep coming and sharing their perspectives and adding so much value in our lives. That's the thing that is from my end with regard to, I will keep sharing snippets of what I've experienced through the year and in between parts and bits and pieces. But this is the time that you have today to share your reflections for the year. It's all about the hits and the misses, the memories and the lessons, the pain and the gain that you have had in 2024. Keep it as vulnerable as you wish to, because towards the end, I will be sharing my 2024, the inside view, not the one that people often see in the social channels or the Instagram stories, but what I have experienced 2024, the most raw and vulnerable that you will come across me as an individual. For the people who know me, that's what my story is going to be about. So, with that, let's get going with today's meeting and the stories that we have to listen. Who would like to go first with sharing their reflections for 2024? I would want any of the members to take up the stage and have it first. Uma ma'am, our guiding light, as always, the opener, the Shehwag of the Speak Up Club family. I would like to invite Uma ma'am to share her thoughts.
Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible, ma'am.
Okay. They say that feedback is the breakfast for champions. Just like that, reflections are necessary whenever the curtains drop down. So I'm going to reflect and look back on how the year 2024 was. Every year at the beginning, we all make resolutions and we are so excited. But then, do we keep up to that? It's a time to look back and see whether I have kept up to that. At the beginning of 2024, I had three goals in my mind. The first one was about traveling. I wanted to travel a lot and see different places in India and keep myself recharged. With the hustle and bustle of daily life, travel definitely recharges you. And I went globetrotting within India to Rameshwaram, Kanyakumari, Srirangam, Madurai, Chennai, Bangalore, Pune, and even to Madikeri. That was my last trip. People used to ask me, "Do you have wheels on your legs?" I said, "Yes." So, what does travel do to you? It really rejuvenates you, helps you share your perspectives with others, re establish connections, meet new people, and even relish new food items in the different places. So, I think I will tick the first one. I have done a lot of traveling. Now, coming to the second goal, I wanted to share whatever little knowledge that I have with others. It so happened that Sharada Educational Trust initiated a program called Margadarshak program for the teachers. And I immediately jumped in and said, I would like to teach public speaking to those teachers because teachers are those who are in direct connection with children, and today's children are tomorrow's youth. and communication skills are the need of the hour. So I had an opportunity to teach around 6 to 7 teachers, and now they are really good public speakers. They even send speeches to me on impromptu topics, and I have asked them to train the children too. Icing on the cake was the one-to-one free sessions I used to give on every Friday to government school children in Sonahalli near HD Kote. So that gave me a lot of satisfaction and rejuvenated me too. Nevertheless, I started investing on myself too, as always with Toastmasters and Speak Up Club. The Speak Up Club sessions and Toastmaster sessions gave me a lot of confidence, and I thought I should share whatever little knowledge that I have with others. Definitely, the connection with Margadarshak programs and also with the children boosted my confidence. Coming to the third goal, what is the meaning of life? What is the purpose of life? I started asking myself, and that led me to two spiritual retreats of Atman and Ravi, who is a spiritual seeker and who is sharing his knowledge unconditionally every day from 8 to 9. I attended two of his spiritual retreats, and I'm slowly trying to gather more spiritual knowledge, which is adding more meaning to my life. Definitely, friends, we have to grow physically, mentally, spiritually, so that we have some holistic growth. And I'm sure I have achieved at least a little bit in these three goals, whichever I have shared with you. I'm looking forward to 2025 with the same zeal and spirit and ready to embrace new challenges. What about you? Over to you.
Thank you, ma'am. It's always fascinating to listen to you for the energy and enthusiasm that you bring on. Even if it's a virtual space, I can sense the kind of energy and enthusiasm that you bring onto the stage. And I can see the smiles, the reactions of people listening to your stories. Uh, it's a fascinating mix of reflections that you have shared. One is something that you savor, which is about the traveling. One is where you serve, which is about the giving back of the students and the work that you're doing. And the final one is the spirituality element of where you are moving to a higher self. Thank you for those wonderful, balanced mix of reflections that you had to share. Beautiful. Thank you. Let's move to the next speaker. Who's coming up next? Akanksha. And after that, Sid. Akanksha, okay, you're on mute. Sid, after that, we'll listen to the Hyderabad one and then we'll go back all the way behind the globe to listen to you, Sid, next. Akanksha, the stage is yours.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Okay, amazing. So, good evening, everyone. This is Akanksha, and I'm here in a very ritualistic way with my speech for this reflections. I began this year worrying about exams, and I'm ending it in the exact same way. Full circle. Except back then, it was competitive exams, and now I'm almost done with a semester at college. So, yeah, that's how drastically my life has changed this year. Honestly, the contrast between the first and second halves of my year is like the state of the Indian cricket team, but I'll leave that for some other day. With January began my battle with competitive exams, and by the end of March, I hit my limit and decided to take a break. So, like any tired person, I ran off to Kerala for a trip. And let me tell you, that was a wonderful experience. And the exam stress? Still packed neatly in my suitcase, waiting for me at home. When I got back, I had to face more exams until May. And it was like an extended movie I didn't want to watch, but there I was stuck in the theater. Once those were finally over, I decided to detox my soul by volunteering for two organizations. I dabbled in event organizing, and in a fit of bravery, I did my first open mic in May. Spoiler alert, I survived, and so did the audience. June rolled in, India won the World Cup, and suddenly life felt at the brightest. But the celebrations didn't last long because July came, dragging me back to reality with college hunting. By August, I found myself in the college of my choice, probably because it chose me to. College life started, and with it came competitions, conferences, and a few unexpected awards. I also began doing things. Meeting new people was an adventure in itself, and let's just say that the world is filled with quite a few interesting characters. One of the highlights of my year has been working on a project with one of the organizations I volunteered for, a book that has recently been launched, and that's something I'm extremely proud of. On the personal front, I got my driver's license too, And yep, the roads are officially less safe now. I also set myself a goal to read 25 books this year, and naturally, my inner overachiever took over, and I ended up reading almost 30. I had to physically restrain myself from reading more because, well, college. This year has mostly been about learning what being an adult feels like. Turns out, it's just trying to carve out your space in the world while keeping your inner child from screaming, I want a break in the middle of everything. So this year was filled with way too much learning for me, more than what I ever expected or even wanted, but it was still quite a journey in itself. Thank you.
Thank you. That felt like a 5-year-old wanting to move off the stage immediately after speaking and just trying to close it off. But yes, thank you. Thank you, Akanksha. I think that was a wonderful share. If you want to see the before and after of Akanksha, go back to 4.5 years. She was a part of the first meeting of the Speak Up Club, which began on 23rd May 2020, while she was all of 14, 13, whatever it was. So it's like in the percentages term, she's the one who's with the percentage growth, she's the one who's grown the highest among all of us who's been a part of the Speak Up Club, including me and Uma ma'am also. But yes, thank you for sharing that, Akanksha, and cricket anecdotes. It's a story for another day. I think that keeps coming into her every speech. While she talked about the highs, I remember how she was sobbing on the November 19th of 2023 for what happened on that day in the Indian cricket team. But yes, thank you. I think that was a beautiful share, wonderful covered year of all the things that have happened, and beautiful reflection. Thank you, Akanksha. Let's move to the next speaker now. Who's coming up next? Anyone? Subbu, Sri Krishna, Poonam? Yes, sir. Sid. Yeah, I forgot. You are far now. I forgot. That's okay. Come on now. Yeah,
Um,
stage is
I
yours.
mean, just before I start my thing, I mean, listening to Akanksha's speech, I don't know why I just traveled 6 years back, while I was in the competitive exams field, searching for colleges and everything. So it was just a nostalgic experience when she was speaking. Thanks a lot for giving me that memory. All right, so can I start my thing?
Sid, can you see the timer? Sri Krishna is a timer, so there's a running clock on his. If you can pin him, if
I cannot see the number though,
it's
but
in a
yeah,
box.
that's fine.
Yeah. So in case
Yeah,
you can see me in the video. Okay.
yeah,
In case I'll just raise my hand in case you're going overshooting along.
yeah,
Over to
that
you.
would help. Hmm. So yes, the reflections of 2024. I must say my 2023 has ended with a Speak Up Club meeting itself, the reflections of 2023, where I basically had only 3 points in my mind that a year is only complete if you have done something to explore yourself, if you have learned something, and basically you have done nothing, just waste your time. So these three things are really very important to complete a year. But right now, and when the year changes, you basically get mature and you learn something more important in life as well. So I have added one more factor, that have you brought any change either in your life or in anybody else's life? So the first biggest change in my life, that is the new year I have celebrated here in US without my parents, and this is the first new year I've celebrated without my parents. uh, Life is difficult without them, of course, because when you get up, your mom basically wakes you up, and we don't wake up. She basically stresses out. And, after a long, stressful, giving you all the galis that are possible, you wake up and then have a cup of tea made by her. Over here, you realize that you have to do all those things. So you basically make all those changes. So that's the first biggest changeover that I have faced this year. uh, I basically enjoyed these WhatsApp jokes. I mean, this is a glimpse for all the ladies. I salute you, bow down from bottom of my heart. That I am not pretty sure how you guys do it every day, but hats off to you guys. So I basically texted my mom on just within 1 week I reached US. It was Ganesh Chaturthi actually last year, so we planned to celebrate Ganesh Chaturthi here. Just cooking one dish sweated me so bad that I had to take shower 3 times. And I just texted my mom, all the ladies in my life, that I really had some. I basically enjoyed these WhatsApp jokes which were on ladies. I promise that I have deleted all those jokes on the very same day and started really respecting it. In summer, I came to India. We also, I basically performed on the open mic with Living Life Offline. My dad basically shared me the lady's joke on that comes on WhatsApp, and I basically I showed him what it is and what it was, and he also promised me that he's not going to enjoy those jokes. So the first change that I brought in my dad's life is not to enjoy those jokes. I would appreciate if anybody over here also changes that ladies have done many things for her life. They are not a part of comedy. Now, the second thing is entertainment. One of the most fascinating factors of life is entertainment, and I travel a lot. As I always say that I travel a lot. I've completed 4 trips just in 3 months when I came to India. Unfortunately, I didn't go to any trip in USA because I'm stuck with my academics and everything. But that's okay because I have already done 4 trips, so it's cool. Next thing, what have you learned in this year? When it comes to academic factors, I have learned many courses uh, oriented to computer science. I'm really very fascinated to tell that soon I would be becoming a teacher. Yeah, so I have to end it, right? Yeah, soon I'll be becoming a teacher. I'll be training kids in computer science subjects. And when it came to extracurriculars, I have learned how to paint Tanjore paintings, which are ancient traditional paintings of India, which basically uses gold leaf. So that's the entire journey of my 2024, where I have learned something, I have got a change, I have enjoyed, I have known something which is important. And I hope that's a complete cake.
Thank you, Sid. I've always been fascinated of how you inculcate the humor into your speeches and talk of some of the finest wisdom in a lighter tone. I think that's a skill that you possess, and I think you must keep doing that. Uh, Hi, Rabia. Yep. So that's something that I appreciate, and I look at the reflections as a balanced one when you talked about the three things and the new one which is added about the change. Wonderfully said, and indeed, in a humorous way, you spoke a lot of wise things that you have learned this year. Thank you for sharing that. Let's move to the next speaker now. Who's coming up next? Subbu Sri Krishna, Poonam. Thank you, Poonam. The stage is yours, Poonam. You're not audible. A bit louder.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, audible now. हाँ sir सुनाई दिया तो ठीक लगा. Over to you.
2024. What an incredible year it has been. Complete, blend of surprises, overflowing love, struggles, challenges, invaluable lessons, and countless learnings. Yet, if you want me to distill it down to 2 points, it would be number one. I always believed I was a multitasker as a human being, and especially as a woman, like doing multitask, juggling with multitask, I felt like it is the innate quality of a woman. But my bubble was burst, and I realized that true productivity lies in focusing on one thing. Even science says your brain is wired in such a way that it can focus on one task at a time. And if you try to juggle multiple tasks, then your wire might get tangled, leading to short circuit. Let me tell you about myself. Like when I joined Toastmaster, I thought I could work on my English grammar. I could continue with my dance classes. I could do teaching, household works, and much more. But I failed miserably because I was like trying to bite off more than I could chew. And then that was the moment I just shifted my approach. I turned the table 180-degree at that time. Suppose if I am reading a book, I give solid half an hour to reading the book. At that time, I avoid taking any call. At that time, I avoid engaging with someone. And I realized that it's making sense in my life. Like I'm able to retain information for longer time. And yes, this focus is something I made it priority in my life. Number two, I was always afraid of failure, but now I realized failure, and success are not opposite. They complement each other. Once I believed like I had to be perfect before trying any new attempt. But now, over a period of time, I realized perfection is a myth, completely myth. When I had to give earlier, when I had to give speeches, I used to back out from that because I was afraid. But after continuously, constantly falling, tripping, stumbling, and I'm trying to embrace my imperfection. I'm trying to embrace my imperfection, and that is making me free from all these things. And I'm not at all ashamed of making mistakes. I am making mistakes and I'm learning from them. So the basically two things which I learned from 2024 is that multitasking is a myth. Focus is everything. And number two, success and failure, they are the pieces of same puzzle. So after embracing my imperfections, I'm evolving each day. I'm trying to be the better version of myself. And I would like to ask you all, like, what did you learn in 2024? And you want to carry it forward to 2025? Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Poonam. Wonderfully spoken. It always fascinates me of how varied topics that Poonam can bring in. How last week she was a chef and today she's a deep-rooted, wise man that I can see. Poonam delivered a speech last week that was about an idea which had an anecdote or the analogy of a chef. And today she is in a different league altogether. I think the pointers that you mentioned deeply resonated with me with the multitasking thing because something for a long time I've struggled with. And I think the ideas that you mentioned is something that will make me ponder about how or what I can do better in my life. Thank you, Puna. Let's move to the next speaker, Meenakshi.
Yes, can I'm just listening to what you all are saying and it's so amazing. I'm like so glad I joined today's meeting.
No, you'll
So,
have to still deliver your reflections.
oh yes, that's what I'm gonna do now.
Okay. I thought you were going to use all the pointers that, okay, I learned everything in this 2 hours.
No. Oh yeah,
What
I'm
you're
just
gonna
gonna leave. Bye everyone.
Okay. So you want to go next or you want to come later?
Oh no, I can perform right now. I think the
Okay.
time has also started.
Perfect. You're okay. Sri Krishna, you can reset and start once Meenakshi starts. Yep. Meenakshi, the stage is all yours now.
Awesome. Thank you. And hello, everyone. It's so nice to be here. For me, 2024 was seriously a crazy year because I started learning a lot of new things about myself. I don't know if it's because I started yoga this year or because I have just entered the middle of adulthood in my mid 20s. I don't know what it is, but I've become so aware of my thoughts. And seriously, guys, mid 20s does something crazy to you, honestly, because you realize that your parents are growing old. You realize that you have to take care of your family. You realize a lot of things, and adulting just hit me really hard. And I found myself dealing with a lot of anxiety during the initial parts of 2024. I was overthinking a lot. I was calling hundreds of my friends and talking to them about things, getting opinions from all these people. That's how I was during the first 6 months of the year. And in the next 6 months, I told myself, you know what? Let us start cultivating acceptance. Like, whether I don't care how I'm going to feel today, my response is going to be the same. If I'm feeling good and I'm having a good time, I have a good outlook about something, if I'm feeling positive, then I will behave in a certain way. But if I'm feeling negative about it, if I'm feeling anxious, if I don't even want to be somewhere, I'm still going to behave in the same way. I learned to cultivate that acceptance. And, for example, if I'm just going somewhere with my friends, if I'm having a good time, I would laugh and talk to all of them. If I'm not having a good time, my mind is wandering in 10 different places, I'm still going to laugh and talk to them. That's how the second half of my year was. Apart from that, I bought a new planner for 2024. The first time I got a physical planner instead of maintaining another Excel sheet on my desktop. And I've been tracking my expenses as well as my habits. I've been tracking everything. And I realized I'm a pretty bad person when it comes to maintaining my habits and spending money, especially because I love reading. I have a library of 1,500 books and I was putting a lot of pressure on myself to read more. And I also realized that for every 6 books I read, I am buying 10 books. So now I have a library of 200 books. So only after tracking all of this in my planner did I realize where my expenses are going. And I also learned to control my wants. I learned the difference between wants and needs, like taking the pause and asking myself, yeah, this is nice. Yeah, we need this, but do we need it right now? Like, if I don't buy this book, will I be illiterate for the next 3 months or something? So that happened, and I am definitely going to continue using a planner for next year as well. Apart from that, being a freelancer, I learned a lot in the past 2 years of freelancing as a content writer. And at one point, I thought I want to give back to the community. So I have so much I want to give and give and give and impact somebody's life. So I've started writing a book. It's getting published on the 15th of January. So I'm looking out for that. And I've also started a podcast, and I'm into about 6 episodes, 8 episodes of that. And apart from that, I joined Toastmasters because I want to be a mentor for many other people. So I would love to give and give and give. I just want to keep giving. It's not that I want to mentor people so that people say, oh, I would like to buy your book, Meenakshi. I want at least one person to look at me and say, I became a freelancer because of Meenakshi. So that is my goal for 2025. And thank you for the time. This is how my year has been so far, and also a small glimpse into next year for me. And looking forward to staying in touch with all of you when we go into the new year. Thank you.
Remember the name, Meenakshi.
Yes. 1,500 books.
Interesting. Thank you. Thank you, Meenakshi. Did you surely say you are turned 20, or was it some other number that I had
24.
already heard? Yeah. Thank you. I think, Meenakshi, that was a full burst of energy. And I think truly, when you said that you are related to Uma ma'am, I could sense that now. That I can see a younger version of Uma ma'am here in Meenakshi. But proud of the fact of how deeply you have thought of about your ear. I saw the wonderful mixture of how you balanced it between find or getting to know yourself, accepting, starting to use a planner, and the goals that you have and how they are shaping up. Uh, I envy you. I wish I could go back 20 years to be where you are and do all the things that you are doing and so beautifully say it. More than just doing it, I believe the way you have said it also inspires. So, like you said, making a difference, you already started to do that. I think with a lot of people here also would be inspired with the story that you have shared, and it will move them. Thank you, Meenakshi, for that wonderful reflections of 2024 that you had. Looking forward to the next year and more stories from you. Who's coming up next? Aarti, over to you.
Thank you, Rahul. Good evening, everybody. My 2024 has been like the cheese stuck between two slices of bread. Wondering, I'm so busy. Why am I so busy? Jan 2024 began with a beautiful contest in Toastmaster called International Speech Contest, where I succeeded the first three levels of winning the club, the area, and division. And it went over 3 to 4 months. It kept me busy by writing my heart out, and eventually it gave me the chance to meet Rahul, who I didn't know would become a mentor for life. And through him, I got introduced to Inner Circle as well. I did go to the district level and stood in front of 200 people, and then I didn't win. But I remember the words that Rahul said, you're people's winner. Because today people know me as, oh, you're that girl who came in ISC, right? Oh, you're that pink cloud girl. I said, yes, that's me. It has been a whole ruckus of a busy life, wondering, I should have more job. I should have multiple sources of income. And having taken jobs from various mentors in my life, continuing to teach dance throughout, and yet wanting to grow financially because I'm hitting 30 in another 8 months. And what is more important in this current phase of life is financial stability. Now, as I look back, I realized, when did I become this such an ambitious girl? I became when I married my husband. The pressure that he puts me into becoming an ambitious woman is worse than the pressure that my parents put to get married. That was far better. Because somewhere here I'm trying to prove myself, or somewhere I'm trying to prove him, or I don't know who. He is a hustler that he calls himself, but I do not want to hustle, but just rest. And I wish in the coming 2025, my resolution is to make my husband hustle less so that my life gets easier and I'm not stuck between the breads like a cheese. Thank you. Over to Rahul.
Thank you, Aarti. A beautiful one-line summary to the entire year of where you were, what you did, why you did, and what you wanted out of it in the next year. Thank you for that wonderful share. Acknowledge it's been my honor too, with regard to being in touch with you and mentoring you. I think it's been a great journey of collaboration as well. We have also worked on a project where Aarti and me have collaborated on working on a few projects together on the Speak Up Mastery Programs content. Thank you for that. Let's go next. Who's coming up next? Yes, Sri Krishna, go ahead. The stage is yours. Please time yourself.
Good evening, everyone. 2024 started playing only with one objective, and unfortunately, I couldn't meet that objective, and it closed that way. So, the first and the only objective I had was to lose weight, and I actually achieved it in the first half of 2024 successfully up till June 2024. Unfortunately, I had to go move to a different process, and to learn it, I have to go to night shift again. And because of that, the shift timings were such that I come home, sleep, that's it. ऐसे करते करते whatever weight I lost, I gained back. The only achievement of 2024 for me was, okay, I didn't put more further weight. So in that net my effect was plus or minus. So coming to my professional life, where I did something good, is yeah, just as I said, I learned a really new process, and I felt that going to that new team, uh, I learned many things which I couldn't have done in my old team. So that was a kind of learning for me, and it in turn helped me transition in my professional space. So that was one good thing. And the second thing is, since I am new to corporate, my experience is somewhat close to 3 years, and that too in two companies. So in my second company, this is I completed my 1 year. Why I say it is, when I completed my 1 year in July, my manager, kept me that congratulations for your 1 year anniversary, something like that. So I felt okay. This is something professionally I achieved. I got that feeling when I saw that email. That too, my manager himself kept that email. So that was something I feel I have achieved. And another thing right now is I started walking as an exercise, which I stopped in night shift. So to keep up with my health goals. And one thing is, so at 6:30 p.m. I get Ramayana in TV. So something I have learned is time management. Whatever it is, before Ramayana I have to come home at 6:30 p.m. I should be home. That's the kind of punctuality I am maintaining. So I think this can I want to keep this, because no, Ramayana has been some reason for it, but because of that I feel that I am able to manage time better. So this was some of my learnings and mess ups in 2024. Over to you.
Thank you, Sri Krishna. For those of you all who have seen Sri Krishna, you would have seen the kind of a sea change in the confidence and the conviction with which he speaks today. He's one of the members of the club, the Inner Circle Club, and I'm fascinated when I sometimes go back to look at the recordings of what I spoke in mine in some meetings 2 years or 3 years ago. When I bump across the way he spoke and the way he speaks today, makes me wonder about the transformation that someone can have. It's fascinating to see him, and the smile and the calmness that he has in himself while he speaks today is something which I am in awe of the commitment and the continued growth that he has had. Thank you, Sri Krishna. Wonderful pointers, and I think, like you said, you for everyone needs to find their Ramayana is all I would say. They need to find what are they chasing and what are they looking up to, and what is it something that they can use something that drives from within to get things done for themselves. Thank you, Sri Krishna, for that. Moving next, who's coming up? Subbu,
Yes, Rahul.
the stage is yours. Subbu, can you take your camera a bit down? Yeah, this looks better. Over to you.
Good evening, everyone. January 1st started in the last year. After the first day completed, we went to shopping for Pongal. We purchased all the clothes and everything. We went to the hometown for Pongal celebration. That 2 weeks went very smooth. We came to the next month, February. Suddenly, I moved to the new project. That project is very kind of big budget for us. Okay, that project is all the time giving me a lot of things for every day, every 2 months is changing the technologies. Suddenly that project not went to the expected time. They asked me to mentor that project instead of designing and architecting the project. We also mentor that project. Then I kind of some kind of aggressive kind of modding thing. Why it's not happening? Why it is? This team member is not doing. This team member not doing. Then I changed my reflection. What I did here is some kind of one of my friends said vitamin G is very important. What is that vitamin G? I just googling that gratitude. So just connected with the first few team members. I started appreciating the team members. Like initially I started in the positive note and slowly I'm getting into the things. So once I started appreciating the team member, that is the first change in my life. The second quarter of the 2024. That gives me some energy. The people started believing me. They shared all the inputs, where God failed and all the things. So I could see that project is the lack of planning, and second is the buffer resource. Then mind that comes with buffer resource, immediately I feel like, do we have any buffer money? No. The project failed because of due to the buffer resource. Why can't we failures happen in the personal life? Then I started investigating another way. I met one personal advisory, financial advisory team members. They give me some tips. So every project having some backup plans. I just started planning for my backup financial planning in the second quarter, like proper life insurance, health insurance, and SIPs and all the things. That is the one major change. Earlier, a bit of kind of relaxing mode. Now I just have a plan in advance. And in addition to that, I just started learning the new things from the great mentor from the Rahul. I started putting some time for learning new things along with my career goals and all the things. Kind of leadership programming and presenting the new things another way. So these are the things I started. And along with that, I just started with walking with one friend in my community. I just created the walker group for health and fitness purpose. Now it's meeting the 150 people. So across the clock, anyone can walking on the community, and if they can join, they can share the feelings and all the things. So these are the major things which has happened in my life in 2024. Thank you so much, Rahul.
Thank you. Thank you, Subbu. Wonderfully shared with regard to the learnings from the project, the challenges that you had. The vitamin G is something that I liked of how things can change and the way you look at things and how things can be made better. Wonderful. Great learnings. It's sometimes an honor to be a part of someone's reflections of the year. Thank you for acknowledging that. And I'm humbled that I make a small difference and it comes into your reflections. Thank you. Let's move to the next speaker who's coming up. We have Deepu Kiran, who's by the name 2312 Drabi. Chetan, Snigdha. Okay, Snigdha, can you come on screen? Snigdha, are you there?
1 second. I have logged in my laptop, so I can't on my camera on.
Okay.
That's fine. Am I audible?
That's fine. If you want to check, if you want to log in with some other device, in the meantime, we can go with someone else if you wish to.
Yeah. If someone else could take over, I'll just
Nagita,
give me a few seconds.
the stage is yours, Nagita.
Yeah. Hi all. This is my first time joining. For me, 2003 was a bit not so good one. It was like very, very bad. So 2014, it was all about standing up, and it's all about understanding what to be done. I would like to start with a question, like one thing which we can't be purchase. Can you name that? Yeah, time. Yeah, so time, it can't be brought back, and we take it. I took it very lightly. I was living the life as it comes with certain goals, and it's just passing away. So 2024, my major goal was to have an effective use of the time, and with a lot of responsibilities on my shoulders, uh, I have divided into major areas where I can focus the time. One was family, health, wealth, knowledge, and hobbies. These 5 things I have jotted on, and someone has mentioned like that. Even I brought a planner for 2024, and I understood I'm very bad with my uh, hobby tracking or expenses. Well, like very bad. And health wise, as someone mentioned, first half went very good, second half was horrible, with again a project coming. I would say it was a sine curve. It was like coming down, going up. So I can exactly say it was a sine curve. Tried yoga, gym, meditation, whatnot. That was the health wise. Wealth wise, I'm very bad, very bad with the expenses. As someone was mentioning, needs versus wants, having that control and having that realization of where the money is going, that was one achievement, I would say. And knowledge wise, my goal exactly beginning of the year was to focus on communication. I joined one of the keynote speaker, Win. He's a Australian keynote speaker, that course, and it was like pretty good. And with that course, I understood that speaking or public speaking itself is an art. It is not like uh, it's not simple, but it's not impossible. We need a lot of hard work behind. So it's an art which need to be learned. I joined Toastmasters, and that was one thing which is needed for my professional growth, and that will get me my wealth also. So it is all linked. And hobbies wise, I wanted to learn driving and get a car. That was done. So I learned driving, and I bought my car in 2024. So that was done. So I would say, being a manager, I would say, with respect to goals, I could say 60% achieved, 40% not achieved, but that was the year overall 2024. And again, I have my planner for 2025 ready and all my goals done. Let's see how it goes this year. Thank you.
Thank you, Nagita. It was wonderful to listen to uh, the reflections that you had to share. It felt more like a appraisal. Now you're going to get your rating and what
I
are you
was
going to do
I
about
was thinking the same, like while writing down, it should not be like
That's okay, but it was wonderful. I love the pointers that you brought in about some of the deeper reflections that we have. As an example, I think someone else also mentioned, like Meenakshi and you, both of you all, talked about the journaling or the planner, which helps us. That's something that definitely makes a big difference, because you can see the slap right on your face when you see what is happening and how things are actually turning out from what you think. And that's something also, one, not a planner, but say I've started to journal, because one of the challenges that I had earlier was of how, in the moments when I was down, everything looked bleak. And so, one of the things that my therapist told me when I was facing a challenge was, go back to just reading all the things which have happened, and you'll see today is one chapter. It's not the entire book. And that made a big difference for me, because when you look back and look at the different things which happen on a daily basis, it's not that everything is bad. She asked me this question, and I'll share it with you all. How many of you all feel when you are just about to reach a signal, it often turns red? Do you feel that?
Daily.
Then she told me, do a test. Actually note every time you are reaching a signal, whether it was red or whether you passed through it. And when I actually documented that, I realized It wasn't more than 30% of the times when the signal turned red just when I was about to reach. And that is how our mind works. Our mind, the negative aspects or the things which are bad, stick deeper and make us believe that it's all bad. And when you document it, journal, planner, it is far deeper awareness that you get that it's not all bad as much as it sticks in your mind. That's how it is. Thank you. Thank you, Ragita, for that wonderful share. Let's go with the next person. Would like to come next? Chetan? Vivian, yes, go ahead. I think it's pretty late for you. I think you should go ahead with your share first. Vivian, are you there?
Yes, can someone show? I can't see the lights with the timer because I'm on gallery. So maybe Rahul, can you do hand
Okay.
signals? Okay.
I'll just do a
That's-
hi when it turns 3. So you can go ahead with smoothly closing your speech. Yep.
So we have 3 minutes, right?
3 minutes.
3. Okay. So can you mark me at 2, 2.5, and 3?
Okay, perfect. Yeah. I'll just start waving my hand at 2 first and then at 3 and then at 2.5 and then 3. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
Okay.
All
Over to you.
right. 2024. I finally decided to tell everybody my deep, dark secret. And contrary to belief, people have said, let me tell you 3 things. That's all we ever hear, right? Well, guess what? The secret to true leadership. Look at the great leaders from India. They never, ever said, let me tell you 3 things. They would go around asking, and asking some more. What do you need? What do you want? How can I make you happy? How can I help you? So finally, 2024, in every club that I visited, I said one thing. They know that I'll always say, I will never say, let me tell you 3 things. True. And I would start by saying, let me, and they're like, oh my gosh, she's going to do it. Let me ask you. Let me ask you 3 things. And I want to ask all of you in this room. What did you think you were going to do last January? And yet, what did you actually get done by December? That's what. How did you go about doing it that you didn't get it done by December? And the last one, yeah, you're going to love me or hate me. Why are you still here wondering what happened? It's 2025 next week. So you notice presentation mastery. I'm not knocking the system. I love the system. You just got to apply it in a creative way. Presentation skills, people think is about writing, memorizing, editing, and reciting. Well, that's one way, darlings. What did I just do? All I did was 3 things, right? Ask, ask, and ask. So there you go. Instead of presentation mastery, I would like to strongly encourage you asking mastery. My extra challenge to all of you in 2025, and I hope to see you in December and see how it worked for you. Here's wishing you lots of love, lots of success, lots of kisses. Have a happy, prosperous, and very successful, healthy year 2025. I love you from Manila.
Thank you, Vivian. Always fascinating to listen to you and the warmth and the wisdom that you bring in with the energy of your voice. Uh, Even if I've often had times where I've slept off when someone doesn't speak with their cameras on, but listening to you always keeps me glued to every word, to every sentence, to every idea that you're sharing and the way you do it. It's fascinating. Thank you for that words of wisdom. Let me share 3 things that let me, the things that you did already. I'm fascinated with the way you articulated those thoughts and shared some wonderful ideas for us to ponder over. And I think we'll surely see you again in the 2025 December as well, asking the same questions of what happened about what I said in 2024 December. Looking forward to it and stay connected. Thank you, Vivian. Let's move to the next speaker now. Snigdha?
Yes, Rahul.
Yes, the stage is yours.
Am I audible?
Pretty much.
Yeah, okay, let me start. So let me introduce myself first. So I'm Snigdha Mutyala, born and brought up in Hyderabad. I'm currently pursuing my third year in computer science engineering. So as Meenakshi said, I turned 20 this year. So being an adult is filled with so much excitement and the pressure of taking all the decisions, making right choices, figure out everything. So this year started by joining Toastmasters in the January. So it was pretty much smooth during the Jan and till August. So I started like feeling I need to improve myself physically also. So I plan to join the gym, and then after joining the gym, the sudden I got again a health issue, which made me step back, and I have to take pause. I have to take rest. Now I'm on the strict diet to clear that issue from its root level. So I decided like life not always goes smoothly like how we plan. It always filled with challenges, unexpected things, but it's all in the attitude that we face. In the September and October, I was a part of TEDx event, which was a great event. I learned many things from being an organizer. I learned many things like speaking to the speakers, you know, I learned time management, teamwork, how to how to be a true leader, how to handle our team members. That was a successful event in my college, and I'm really proud of myself for pulling that smoothly and greatly. And then coming to my hobbies, I'm currently reading this book, The Grain Brain, which is more focused on how to build a healthier lifestyle, because right now I'm much more focusing on my health and my academics. So that's it from my side. This was my year, and I hope 2025 will be more greater and more productive. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sigda. Very well documented here, I must say, with specific times, specific things, specific learnings, and the follow-up. Thank you for that wonderful share. Let's move to the next speaker now. Rabia, over to you. You're on mute now. And after that, who's by the name, who's just raised his hand? Drabi? Rabi, I'm coming to you once again. I'm just waiting for someone raise their hand. You're on low audio, Rabia. You can, yes.
I'll come back after
Yes,
second.
you're audible now. You're audible now. Go ahead.
Alright.
Somebody just raised their hand, so I was just waiting. Who's that?
Okay,
The stage is yours. We'll come to that person after you.
fine.
Okay?
May I?
Yep, go ahead. Over to you.
Good evening, everyone. It's pleasure to see you all once again. And I can say that 2024 started with lots of expectations, hopes, and aspirations, I can say, because it was my daughter's 10th standard she was appearing about for, and I was more nervous, more tense than her. But by the grace of God and all your prayers, I can say she got through with a very good marks, and now she is pursuing her intermediate in the same college where I studied. So that is the best thing I feel, because she is reliving my moments of my life, you can say. And I really feel happy to meet one of my lecturers who now is the principal. And she was really glad to see my daughter back again to the same place. So it's not that I'm the only first one to be there, because they say that not only you, Rabia, that your daughter is with us, we had even grandchildren also of our students who are studying in the same place. So that is the first biggest milestone which I have achieved, and was that the biggest thing which I can say for 2024. And apart from that, in due course of time, as I moved on with the months and days together, I realized one thing, that things are changing a lot with a rapid speed, I can say, and everybody might be noticing that. In no time, we have done with our 2024. We are going to step in 2025, and the days are fleeting. So as if we are running out of time, many things are left over pending. And whatever, I started adjusting myself according to the time and situation, because earlier I used to panic for many small things like ये नहीं हो सका, वो नहीं हो सका, ये हो नहीं पाया, वो नहीं हो पाया। अब ऐसा हो गया है मेरा मन कि जो हुआ ठीक हुआ, नहीं हुआ जाने दो। Because I have been noticing most of the people are planning for the things, but this year I have planned that I'm not going to plan for anything because things happen so unexpectedly. So better not to go for it because you regret if you fail to achieve things what you have already planned for. So let it go randomly. Just whatever is being served in your platter, take it, eat it, enjoy it, and forget it. Because many things I have noticed, it happens. So with my own experience, I can say, you wish to hold down the time and the people in your life, but it slips like sand from your hands. So you better not to stick with anything, anyone. So just let it come, let it go, take it easy, live life as it comes to, and accept it as a gift. Because that one thing also I've learned that life is just like a gift, and whatever is in the present, whatever you're doing, past you cannot change, future you have no idea about it. So whatever is in present is like a gift, accept it wholeheartedly and be thankful. Gratitude is should be there for every step of your life. The next morning when you get up, you must say thankful, be thankful to God that you are still alive and you have one more day to pass on with, and live on day to day timings, I can say. Never to go for long term goals and all those things what I feel are bookish ones. In real life it hardly matters because it never happens. I don't know, it's with me. I cannot say what everyone, but with me it so happened. And when accounts are there, accounts when you have to deal with, expenditure when you have to deal with, I can never ever be a planner because the moment I plan for it, double to that I spend, and then I feel that oh my god, I better shouldn't. सो आ रहा है आने दो, जा रहा है जाने दो, जीना है बस जियो. Thank you.
आ रहा है आने दो, जा रहा है जाने दो. But I had to stop you. I'm sorry that you were in the flow, and I think it was wonderful to listen to you. I think it's a different take on how I've always had my life and the way I've looked at it. And I think I have come to realize that also. I'll share that in my reflections about how being in the flow is as well as important as maybe thinking of what is under your control and how things are moving as per your plan. I think we have a different plan altogether. And beautifully said, like you pointed out, when you have your plans, life makes other plans as well. Let's move to the next speaker now. Who's left? Deepu Kiran or Manu Jain? Are you there? We have Drabi. Deepu Kiran, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, sir.
You are here, but you need to be here.
I am here.
Come here then. So you're going to share something? Would you like to share something? Some of your reflections for 2024?
Sure, sir.
You can come on video if
Yeah.
it's possible.
It's not coming on for some reason.
No problem. Then I think you can still go ahead. We'll listen to you.
Yes.
Okay, the stage
So
is yours.
first of all,
The stage is
yes,
yours.
please. First of all, I'm really grateful for this chance to speak. And when I was a kid, I remember I used to every night pray to God and say, "Thank you for this day, God. I really enjoyed it, and please give me a good day tomorrow also." So I would say thank you very much for 2024. I learned that I cannot do everything, and I hope 2025 will give me a little bit more freedom towards wisdom. And also, I have been thinking this speech through in my head. It's all a jumble there. I'm trying to tease it out, bit like the crazy quilt principle. So just stitch it as you go along and take what others spoke and just learn from them also. So I'm trying to accept myself as an imperfect human, and so I'll be able to accept others also in the same way, and also not try to speak perfectly and impress others. I've done that a lot. I'm trying to break that habit and just express myself as much as I can, as much as my heart allows. And as far as milestones are concerned, we achieved a lot. Me, my husband, and my children. Uh, I got a yoga certificate, a teacher certificate, and I was the best teacher in my group from Bodhi School of Yoga. So I wanted to blend this in along with my MBBS and see how it goes. I also joined a Sunday school. There were a lot of piled up things at my end before I freed myself up for next year, and so I wanted to finish them off this year. So one of them was taking a management course through IIM Indore on Sunday, and I had my husband's full support here and children's full support. They always used to check whether I'm doing good and how am I enjoying that. And it's gone really well. I've done good grades there, and I completed in March. My elder daughter got into MBBS, so that was one goal. So we succeeded in that. Both of us are doctors. She's also going to be a doctor. Bit of a drug overload there, but hopefully we'll not have too many side effects. Because my younger daughter wants to be a lawyer. She's in the 10th. So she's trying to ace her grades also. So it's all about performances this year, productivity. Channel, we are all like high productivity this year. So next year I'm going to travel. I'm going to take an off from all, how knowing how much I can do, and I want to more be and just enjoy the world. The world, I think, is settled. Their spiritual evolution has come to a great uh, culmination. I think everybody is now aware of their strengths, their limitations, and how they should behave. They are able, a bit like baking a perfect cake. They're so able to just gently fold in their spirituality into their material world, and uh, I'm really in awe of people, the way they handle themselves, their daily lives, right from the poor to the highly successful rich people, how they have submitted to God, and um, they trust. If there's nothing else, they have the trust, and I want to do that too. I want to be less self-reflective, less self-critical, and be more accepting of my faults, whatever have happened, whatever. And I'm a very self-deprecating person. I learned that in UK. So if anybody congratulates me or says you have done good, I'm like immediately no, no, that's not me. Thank you. And I want to be a bit more humble and say thank you. I did achieve something good, and take a lesson, uh, enjoy, have a party that we did achieve something, and move on to the next goal. So uh, yeah, I'm learning to be a bit more spontaneous and be okay with forgetting what I've built in my head, and just be less nervous and speak more freely, do things more freely, be free with people. And one lesson I definitely learned is that your health and your relations are like quicksand or water. The tighter you try to hold them, the easier they go off.
Thank
So
you. I
be
think,
gentle with your health. Sorry.
yeah, Dipu, we have a time constraint.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's the last lesson. Be
Okay.
gentle with your health, be gentle with your relations. So thank you so much, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. I think you joined in late and I could not mention to you that we are speaking for 3 to 3.5 minutes. Anyways, yeah, thank you. I think that was a beautiful share. I don't know if I should applaud you because you might get into that mode where you are self-deprecating and saying that no, 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 don't. But I think you will say thank you now that you have learned the lessons. That was a wonderful, beautiful share that you had, and wonderful stories of simple and calmer wisdom that you had to share. Thank you, Deepkuran. Let's move to the next speaker who's left. Do we have Drabi or Manu Jain? Chetan? Chetan, are you there? Do we have anyone else? Yeah,
Here, Rita Sharma. I didn't speak till yet.
go ahead. Ma'am, you would like to share something?
Yes.
Sure. The
First
stage.
of all, thank you very much, Uma ma'am, who has sent me the link, and I am here to share my journey of 2024. So, I love to live in a routine, and I joined Toastmasters in the year 2023, month of September, and I have completed this year my pathway 3 and really feeling good. And this my now project is processive influence pathway 4, and it's about planning and 3 areas I love to do work for, and giving my full attention to all 3. First, work. I'm working as a counselor in a hospital and doing good, enjoying my life to giving my time and energy to my patients whole day. Second, family. Family is my priority and love to ensure that every needs I can fulfill for each and everyone. Then third is my passion. That's I'm giving speeches and preparing for that. Love to express my thoughts. Second, I make videos. I have YouTube channel and daily basis. I don't have much time, so I just impromptu speaking is going on. I don't know editing and all, but love to express in this way and maintaining my each and everything to live in a routine to do better. I wake up in the morning at 4 and giving time to myself to 2.5 hours meditation, positive affirmations I write daily basis, and I do yoga. In this way, everything is going on very well, enjoying my life. Whole year is smooth and feel like that. And I wish that next year will be more better than this year. So everything is going on a right way. And because I'm working for myself, improving and taking small steps, everything is going on very well. Health, wealth, relationship, everything is on a right track. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I think coming from someone like you with the experience and the modalities of different things at different stages in life. Today, we have talked about someone who's adulting, someone who's into their 40s, and someone into a different league altogether. And the perspectives and the reflections that of the same year, 2024, that each one of them had based on their own stage of life is fascinating to listen. Thank you for that, Rita. I think it was a beautiful share. Anyone left? Do we have Manu? I can't hear you. Chetan, are you there? I saw him coming on and off, but I'm not sure if he's still there. If not, yes, Chetan.
Actually, my network bandwidth is low here.
We can see you now,
Error
we
with the
can hear you
network.
now. If you'd like to share.
Hello.
Yeah, we can see you and we can hear you, Chetan.
Okay.
So would you like to share something?
Actually, 2024 went in planning for 2025. I'm working on a project which is to be executed in 2025, but the base was created in 2024. And a few good things happened in 24, like my daughter was selected as a Pune memory champion. And I met a friend after 20 years. That was one good thing. Oh, that's the only thing.
No problem. Thank you. Thank you, Chetan, for still joining us and sharing something about your 2024 or 2024. But I love the line when you said 2024 went into planning for 2025. I think 2025 will definitely have some interesting stories to share when we come back to that year's reflections. Thank you for sharing that, Chetan. Let's move to the next speaker. Do we have Manu? Else, we come to the end of today's session. Manu, are you there? Okay. I think Manu is not here, and the only one left in the room with their reflections is me. So, yep, I think you'll have to bear with my reflections now. Okay, before I begin, let me share that these are not the reflections of what the world sees or what I've accomplished and the things that I've gone. This is, if you want to see that, I have posted a post in the Speaker Club group today. The caption of that has a look back at what the year was from what you all saw and what a summary of what all things were there. But now will be a inside view of the world inside me of the reflections that I've had for 2024. Here we go. I've titled it From Chasing the Next to Embracing the Now. This time last year, I was about recovering from a massive mental health breakdown. It was a long, enduring path for 6 months. In 2023, for 6 months, it was a gradual path to recovery. But at that point in time, I didn't have the answer. Why did it happen? What happened? Because 6 months into 2023, I was at my professional peak. District champion, 4 contests, all 4 contests to a podium finish. The Speak Up Club inner circle going great, the business running wonderful, and the family and the relationships that I had were in a great shape. Not sure why, what happened, but in 2023, August, on the day of my birthday, I was standing at a reception of a psychiatric hospital, and the receptionist said, "Today's your birthday," with a smile on her face. And at that point in time, the tears rolled down from my eyes, breaking down completely, seeking help because I was not understanding what was happening with me, why it was happening, and desperately looking for some answers. Despite all the achievements, something inside me was broken, and I didn't have an answer why. There was a gradual survival through the rest of the 2023, which happened, but I wanted an answer of why it was happening, of what happened to me in 2023. And 2024 was all about finding those answers. When I look back at the last 1 year, the realization that I've had was about 3 things. One was embracing the pause. For years, not just months, for years, I was into this chase of what next, constantly pushing myself into doing things, achieving things, being more. I was juggling my family business, being onto the stage for living life, doing a software business, and all at once engaged 100% with every minute of my day. And anytime I had a moment where I didn't know the answer, that I was not doing anything, it was a question on my self-worth, doubting if I was enough, doubting if I was doing enough, doubting if I was missing out something in the journey of life of wanting to become something. I couldn't sit in silence with my mind literally spiraling into the whirlpool of self-doubt. It is in this year that I realized that I had to embrace the pause. I'm not a machine which can be operating 24 by 7, 365 days and finding productivity as the goal that I had. And so I slowed down. I started to look at things in a different light, not looking at every minute of my day with a target of what I did in this moment and chasing that. Second, it all came from the fact of an underlying belief that I am not enough. For a large part of time, because of my unconventional ways, unconventional career, unconventional choices that I had in my life, it all boiled down to the thing which made me think of validation from somewhere external or only the results which give me a validation that I am enough. There was an internal battle every moment to prove that I am enough. One day in my therapy session, my therapist asked me a simple question which made me ponder about and change the perspective of this thing. She asked me, "Why is it that you want to accomplish what you're chasing?" And that got me thinking about why was I chasing it at all. I began to reflect and I started to look back at all the things that I've endured and grown over a period of time, looking at a compilation of all the things that I've achieved in my life to see that I am enough. I was always enough. And so are you. And finally, the last thing I realized was it's all about the balance. In my quest to achieve more, I sacrificed what truly mattered: my health, my relationships, my time with friends and family. Not that I did not enjoy what I did, but it was all in an imbalance. Because as I kept pushing myself, the cracks started to appear. My health deteriorated, I started to experience insomnia. I had little time with my spouse and kids, and friendships began to fade. I began to realize in 2024 that it isn't one facet which can be on fire and in great glory, and the other facets crumbling and trying to survive. It's like having one tire perfectly fine and 3 tires of a car broken down and you're rushing ahead thinking that you can still go far, far ahead. And that's when I realized that it's the balance that creates meaning to our life, and that balance is what adds to the joy in our life. I heard this quote by Albert Einstein in a note in 2017. I even made a video on it, funny enough. The statement, that quote by Albert Einstein read, "A calm and modest life brings more happiness than the pursuit of success combined with constant restlessness." I had read those words. I knew those words, but only in 2024 I realized the meaning of those words. As I close this 2024, I've learned the lessons that I hold dearly, and that's something that has added peace to my life and moved me from chasing consistently what next to embracing what is present now. And that's a learning that I'm taking into 2025 and looking for more, not more of what next, but more of life. With that, that's my 2024, a wrap to that. Thank you. With this, we come to an end for the reflection segment and today's meeting. I hope each one of you all had some wonderful moments. I'm sorry if I have left you on a high, on a thinking note while sharing my reflections, but this is something that I didn't want to disturb the momentum and the mood in the meeting through the meeting. And so I wanted to leave you with this thought of reflections that I had on my note. I'm glad I could hear each one of your reflections and the stories that you had to share of the things which I feel will my share. I hope it gives a different perspective to what the adulting and the 20s and someone who's in their 60s have got, and take a leaf from this of not going far too ahead and thinking of how you can come back. Thank you, everyone. I think it's been a wonderful meeting, listening to your stories and having a great experience and learning from each one of your stories as well. I hope each one of you all had the same experience being a part of this meeting and experiencing some wisdom from even the stories of others. And more importantly, while you shared your reflections, I believe it hits us deep about how far we have come in this year and all that we are looking up to in the next year. With that, any thoughts, anything that you'd like to share, any one of you all, before we close the meeting for today? Anyone?
Rahul,
Yes, Vivian, go ahead.
thank you to everybody, and especially to you for the reflections. And as you ended your sharing, it reminded me of a lesson that I'd like to share with you. Life is fleeting, tomorrow is not promised. So I would say the words of wisdom of Rahul ring loudest in my heart. Enjoy the now. Tomorrow is not promised. I love you.
Thank you. Thank you, Vivian. Meenakshi, go ahead.
Yes, I could also relate a lot to what you were saying because I am also somebody who is never in the present and I'm constantly looking for the next thing. Like, even when I'm reading a book, I'm not reading that book. I'm like, what am I going to read next? My target for the end of the year is 120 books. I have to finish 120 books and now I'm on 75. I need to finish this and then read 45 more books. Oh my God. So even when I'm watching a movie, whatever I'm doing, when I'm working on something for my clients, anything, I'm not in that. So what you said now is something I already knew, but it was nice to hear it again because I needed to be reminded of that. So I'm really glad you took the time and shared it so vulnerably because I had to hear that. So I'm going to take this with me into 2025.
Thank you. If you'd like to keep a note of it, there's this entire idea which I've shared just now. A deep dive is what I'm going to share on Monday in my LinkedIn post about with the same title, moving from chasing the next to embracing the now. It's going to be an article which I'm going to share. Each one of you all do go ahead because there will be words and facets that you have heard right now, but that will be comprehensive and deep of what I'm going to share. If it resonates, keep a copy of that, share it with friends, do spread across if you feel it's something that you need. It's someone that needs to hear what I've shared. Because I know every year I do this practice for the last few years, I've been doing it, but I've never shared it in the public because that's something which is private and what is deeply within me. But this is a message because of what I've endured in the last 18 months. I wanted to make it a point that I share it and I'm okay with it. The fact that there are a lot of people out there who are suffering and experiencing these challenges, not able to tell, not able to know or having an answer at all of why they're experiencing it all. I hope a facet of what I've shared resonates with them and helps them find solace in the fact of that there is an end to this suffering or trauma or whatever you want to call. And there is hope at the end of it. That's what my purpose of this year's reflection, the inside view. Like I told you, what is visible outside is already there in the LinkedIn post that I've shared today. For all of you all, if you're not on LinkedIn, you can connect with me there or on the Instagram. You can see the post which I've written, all the hits, how many speaking gigs that I've had, how many programs that we have done, how many times I've been on stage. All those things are something which is for the world to see. That is already visible. This is something which is raw and vulnerable that I wanted to share, and that's what I thought I'll share.
So,
Yeah,
minute,
Rabia,
what
go
you're
ahead.
sharing, what you're sharing on LinkedIn is what is the same in Instagram
Two
as well?
things. Today, no, yeah, it's the same thing. I've been sharing all the content that I've been doing for the last 3 months. I've
I'm
been sharing on both.
the link.
So if you're not on LinkedIn, you can follow me on Instagram, and that's where you can see the content, the videos, and the content that I keep
Yes.
sharing. So if you have still not gone into the hardcore depth of reflections as well, you can use today's post, which I've shared, where I've shared a document in the Speak Up Club group, which is my template of reflections, but for the external world. The internal world is something which is deeper, and what I've written, which will be coming out on Monday. So if you come across that, you will see the snippets of what I've shared today in that once it comes. So with that, I think it's been a great evening. Thank you all. It's a beautiful way to sign off the 24/24 for the Speak Up Club, because this is at the heart of me and what I've been chasing for the last 4.5 years. This is my family. You can imagine if I've been committed to it for the last, it's been now 236th session that we are talking of the Speak Up Club sessions that we have had, of which the inner circle is a part of, and the fourth Fridays and the fourth Saturdays, which are the open mics of every month, the online one and the offline one, which happens in Hyderabad. It's been something which is like my baby, and something which I deeply am committed to, because I believe in the stories. I believe in listening to experiences and giving a platform to people through the Speak Up Club to share and express themselves. It's more than a public speaking platform. It's a platform where people can come and express themselves, the ordinary people sharing the extraordinary stories, not the ones which are the polished public speaking or the TEDx talks types, but something where people can just come and speak. All the talks which are there, all the session recordings, not the inner circle meetings, but these virtual meetings which you're seeing are all there. Like I think there should be around 148 speaker meeting recordings which are there in a playlist in YouTube. You can watch out anything. The offline meetings also, we record the speeches which are there of all the 6 meetings that we have had. All the playlists of every individual offline meeting, every individual speaker is posted on the Speak Up Club channel. So yep, at any point in time, if you feel that you're low in life, low in battery, you can always go and check out those channels and look at the inspiring stories that people have had to share, the experiences and the perspectives that they've had to share. With that, we come to an end for 2024, and this is signing off the last meeting of Speak Up Club family and of this beautiful meet that we have had, which I'm going to take forward into 2025, the memories and the lessons. Thank you everyone for gracing this meeting and being a part of this wonderful meeting for us. Thank you, and have a good night, everyone.